do 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 do. Brr, brr, da, brr, 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 da, da. Hey, brr, da, brr, 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 da, da. Brr, brr, da, brr, 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 da, da. Gotta make my own music, 'cause my music is borked on laptop. Brr, brr, da, brr, 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 da, da. Brr, brr, da, brr, 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 da, da. Hope I am not super annoying. But I think silence might be worse. If only my music were not barked. Then I would be so quiet right now. God, maybe I should just like clip that out. God. Okay. Well, that was the very beginning. Maybe no one saw it. That's how it be sometimes. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I even have my my Twitch hasn't gone off yet. My Twitch notifications. Poof. Saved. Nobody knows. Oh, no, there's 3 people. How unfortunate. This is between us, y'all. So my music is borked. So I'm trying to just generally fill in the space as we wait for ads to go through without jumping on into the content. I think I have to make this a little closer. Okay, how's that? Looking a little better. Woo! Yeah. So the cats are sleeping on the cat tree, which is right next to our table. Right next to our table. And I'm at our dining room table. So that way I can sit while I do some cooking. We're going to start off with coffee jellies. Oh, ad break. How shrewd of you. Rude. How dare. I don't think any of my notifications are going off yet. How interesting. Oh, is live. Okay, cool. That's me. Woo. Okay, it just posted. That's good. And then I'll post like one other place. My computer is angry. Just if anyone's saying hi, don't worry, I'll get you. Just trying to get to this stinking place to self-promo. Okay. Where's that? Okay, we're almost to doing this. I should look and see if the ads are still running. Unfortunately, on my current setup, I can't tell when ads are running from my OBS. It's gonna it's chugging too much. I can't rely on it. So I'm just gonna wait a little bit longer while I get my Elgato Cam Hub up and going. Alright, let's see. Hopefully it'll just automatically work and we'll all be happy. Perfect. We get to be all happy. Alright. Hello, Cthulhu. How are you doing? I had, much sleepies. So much sleepies that I didn't wake up until an hour and 15 minutes ago. And for me, that would be 1 o'clock. Let's see. I'm going to grab my ingredients because I'm a dum-dum who doesn't grab ingredients. I'll just say I'm a little confused because I know we have a brown sugar around here, but I can't find it right now. It has been located. Feeling blep. Why show my I appreciate you. Okay. So I have my dark brown. So I'm gonna start. I know it says I'm gonna roast veggies. I'm gonna start off with making some, what's it called? Coffee jellies. Because after that, all I'm gonna do is roast some vegetables. Hello, Makapon. How you doing? I don't know if this is going to work from here. Let's see. We'll do the thing. Woohoo! Excellent. Y'all should check out Maka. Oh my gosh. Has been playing Crash Bandicoot. Oh, you're on 4 now. Excellent. I think you had challenge to 100%, did you? Or is that 4? I can't remember which one you were trying to 100%. Maka does variety gaming. And I've heard you do some rigging in arts, but I haven't personally seen it yet. Hello, Kafka. How you doing? It's good to see you. I just need to grab my recipe. This laptop can barely handle the streaming. It's kind of insane. So I try to do as little on it as possible. So I don't have TITS for like the throwing system. I don't have the fishing, unfortunately. I did fishing last time. I think it was a bit much for the laptop. Once I upgrade my main computer, like make a new computer, I want to make it something that I can move around. So that way I could move it from the bedroom into the living room for cooking. Doing well. Glad to catch one of your streams. That's so sweet of you. Let's see. Coffee jelly recipe. So we're gonna use agar. Chipotle mayo burgers. Ooh, that sounds delish. Such good. Let's see. I need it with an instant. So we're gonna use an instant not instant coffee. Hold on. Yes, yes. So I have this Trader Joe's instant coffee. It's pretty bitter, I'll admit, but it's actually perfect for this kind of setup because it has a strong coffee flavor, and you're already going to be putting a good amount of sugar in it anyway. I'm just trying to remember which one I did. All right. I guess we did this. Okay. We'll see how it goes. You lurk, you made me hungry. Excellent. We all should eat around here. Eat at our appropriate times and listen to our bodies. You know what? It's because I'm gonna start off with what's it called? Making coffee jellies just for fun, because afterwards I'm just gonna roast veggies. So, and this is kind of in hopes that it might solidify before the end of stream. But we'll see. Hello, Tar. Oh, Eleanor saying hi as well. Okay, I need to grab my agar, and I think that's about it. Okay. Oh, I guess water would be beneficial. So agar powder is it's a plant-based, like, gelatin alternative. It's very common to be used in Japan. I think it's what's it called? What does it come from? Red algae. It's red algae. Really commonly used in Japan. It's also used in biology labs for, like, petri dishes, studying bacteria, all that sort of stuff. Because what they'll do is they'll make an agar substrate with some food on it, and then they put samples of bacteria, and then they'll leave it for a while to let the bacteria grow and see what's there. That's often what they'll do if they, like, sample, like, a drinking fountain for bacteria. You first grow that bacteria from the swab, and then you're able to see and analyze what kind of bacteria is in that space. So I think that's kind of fun. Let's see, how much water am I supposed to have? I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to do. But okay, it literally just says. Oh, 2 cups. Okay, cool, cool, cool. 2 cups. All right. 2 cups of water. And now we're going to turn on our. Let's see. Function. We want it to be on heating. This is a nifty little device. Oh, hello, Oatmeal. How you doing? This is a neat little device that lets me cook on countertops or what's it called? A table. It's been really nice to be able to sit and cook. So this is it's basically just like a stovetop, but it's like a little mobile thing. Um I it's also induction, so you have to use like steel and and cast iron. You can't use like a Teflon aluminum pan on it. It just doesn't work. How's it hanging? I'm pretty good. Oh, that's towards Kafka. I'm so sorry. I'll mind my beeswax. Let's see. Okay, I need to look at how much instant coffee I put in here. Heaping teaspoon. So we're gonna go into our instant coffee. Oh dear. Oh, it's angry. Why is it so angry? I guess it's a little older now. All right. We done it? Here's one heaping boy. Heaping boys. And I think what I want to do is actually make it a good amount stronger. I think that's what it actually calls for. So I'll double it. Based on no science whatsoever. Hello, Jurassic Jacob. It's good to see you. Oh, yes. So the title is misleading, I suppose. Um, we are. Excuse me as I slightly put it off screen. Hello, Lord Am. We're making coffee jellies first, and then we're going to dive into making some roasted veggies. But I realized that I've been wanting to make coffee jellies for a while, and I was like, why not? So that's what we're going to do. Okay, I think I can tone this down. Okay. I'm gonna lift that up for a bit. I don't really want it boiling that freely. Oh, it's because it detects it. Okay. Um. So it says, oh, I should do all of them. Okay. I'm gonna turn this on low. There we go. Okay. That should be good now. I don't know if it's been mentioned yet, but you're a little buzzy. Oh, that's probably the what's it called? The cook the like hot top. That's probably the hot top. Let's see, what country does this food originally belong to? So agar is definitely Japanese. Um or rather a lot of food from uh it's commonly used in Japan, agar powder. Um, and there's a lot of cultures that make jellies. It's imagine jello that stays firm at various temperatures. If you use enough of it in the right ingredients, you don't have to refrigerate it, if I understand correctly. But we're at the levels we're doing it, we are going to have to leave it in the fridge. Let's see. Jurassic Jacob saying hello to everyone. That's so wonderful. Yeah, it's an induction hot top. I didn't hear the buzzing over my VCR buzzing. Working on an art project. Excellent. I would love to hear more about it if you care to share. Um, if you want to share it another time or don't feel like sharing, that's okay too. Okay. I need to grab a couple more measuring cups because I need to put in sugar and agar. So I need 1/4 cup of sugar and a teaspoon of agar. So I can add the agar right now. One teaspoon. Excuse me as I wipe off the stuff. Coffee jelly sounds strange to you? It might. So coffee jelly, it's supposed to be a dessert. So imagine like coffee flavor in like a jello-ish consistency. Gosh, it's just angry. Maybe next time I should do a fan to try to move the steam away from it. But yeah, so it's a sugary jelly just with the flavor of coffee in it. I should really mix this while it's in there fresh so it doesn't clump. But so jellies aren't always coffee. They can be just like a brown sugar jelly. They can be a strawberry jelly. And what it means by that, so usually at the end you make like little cubes of the like this quote jello like creation. Excited to watch make these. I much prefer tapioca boba over jellies. I feel like so what's nice about jellies is they're easier to make at home, I find. And you can make a bunch of them and just have them ready. So if you want to make your own quote boba drink or something like that, you can do that very easily. Um Whereas boba, you have to basically make it every time you want to try. Like every time you want to make a drink, you want to make boba. Tapioca boba is such a process to make at home. Took me 3+ hours to make it. Yeah, exactly. It takes like 3 hours. And then like you want to use it same day or the following day. Never seen anywhere I could see strawberry, orange, cherry jelly, but it's very strange. You know, wait for me. Oh yeah. So imagine it's more like cubes of it. So and also this doesn't have to be used in a drink. Sometimes jellies are just eaten on their own or like with sweetened condensed milk over it. Oh, I don't know how one would make grass jelly at home. I don't know what they put into it. But you definitely could. And it could just be brown sugar jelly too. They sell some boba kits, but they're expensive and kind of weird. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I just feel like yeah, you can put jellies in a drink. So you could either eat this if you make it into small cubes. Have you ever had boba with the tapioca balls? It's like a drink with little tapioca balls. Cannot have sweetened condensed milk, but that over coffee jelly sounds good. Yeah, yeah. Oh, hey, Augustine. It's good to see you. Hope all your cooking turns out tasty. I appreciate that. We're starting off with coffee jellies. Okay, I should really grab that cup. I think it's a fourth cup. Yeah, fourth cup. Well, I realized the error of my ways. Our fourth cup is inside the cat food because we use a fourth a cup to measure out their dry food. So we're just going to eyeball it. We're going to eyeball it with a half cup. Yeah, coffee jellies. We're using instant coffee. I can throw together a recipe list in the future if this turns out fine. Otherwise, I will ask my partner what we hecking did last time because I thought that turned out fine. Okay, I just grabbed some brown sugar, vaguely a fourth a cup, but who's to say? Who's to say? There we go. The deed is done. There's no turning back. Okay, so we got our agar. We got our... Hold on. What is boba? Yeah, so it's basically... So oatmeal has it right. It's a chewy tapioca ball used in drinks. Some people don't like it. I love it. I had vegan shrimp last night. It was made of tapioca. Oh, very cool. Yeah, so tapioca is like a very chewy um food item. Some people use it to make pudding. It just depends on how much liquid there is in it because it can also make a firm texture. Um and what you can do so basically imagine like little chewy balls inside of a drink and you have a wide straw. So sometimes you're getting like sometimes when you drink it, you'll suck up a couple of these little chewy balls and they taste like a little bit like brown sugar generally because they're also coated in a brown sugar syrup. One of these days I should just buy some boba and show it on stream because there's a few people who don't know what it is. I'd love to show it off. And usually the drink itself is a tea, like a milk tea that's a little sweet or very sweet rather. Okay, so we have our coffee, we have our water, we have our agar, we have our sugar. Um Small pot, bring mixture to a simmer, whisking constantly to fully dissolve sugar and agar. Simmer gently for 1 minute to activate agar. Well, I think that agar is active. Check back of a metal spoon that no granules remain. Pour into a mold. Okay, so it's like basically I'll bring it to a simmer one more time just to make sure. I probably messed up at the beginning because I made it really toasty. So the coffee might be a little bit burnt, but who knows? And then I have to put it in the fridge once it's inside a new container. Let's see. Let me see what containers I can use. I have this snap lock, which is basically like Pyrex glass container. Let's see. I wonder if you could make potato boba. Potentially? Dehydrated boba is not the same experience, sadly. Sometimes it ends up feeling kind of slimy afterwards. It's sad. It didn't taste like shrimp. Yeah, I don't know if you can make potato boba. That would be interesting. It was good, not vegan, but someone said this vegan Chinese restaurant was really good. That's cool. I mean, I do like butter, Augustine. We are okay. So one of my favorite boba drinks tastes like literally sweet butter. It was delicious. Like that was my favorite. I'm a fiend for really good high quality milk that tastes kind of savory, and I'm also a fiend for butter. A little higher here. There we go. It's starting to bubble. Echo. I wish the whisk on this was a little like the whisk handle was a little longer. The whisk size itself is awesome, but you do burn yourself from time to time using it. All right, I turn this off. And I'm going to mute myself for a moment to move stuff around. All right. So I'm going to pour this in. Hopefully I don't pour it all over the place. Perfect. My camera does not approve. Bubble, bubble, toilet trouble. Y'all are great. VHS project photos posted in Discord. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let me see if I can open it without like borking things. New audio. Don't switch. Wow. Okay. To the Discord. Panic in the Discord. Wow. Okay, there we go. I'm getting there. Other creative stuff. That is gorgeous. I almost swore. Y'all, if you're in the Discord, you should check out under creative stuff, other. In the future, I would love to show this on stream, but right now I don't trust my computer because my laptop just is angry. An angry little munchkin. And I would also want to get permission, of course. But y'all should check it out. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. Little lights inside VHS tapes. That's so cool. I love it. Cam steam up like I opened the dishwasher too early. It's true. That's how I live. I have glasses, so when I open the dishwasher too early, that's exactly what happens to me. Angry laptop. Yeah. Permission share. Excellent. Another stream when you're around. Okay, I'm going to wipe this thingy down. So here's the thing. What I'm probably going to do is another time I'll make I'm just going to put this in the fridge, and another time I'll make a brown sugar syrup. For a brown sugar syrup, all you need is a 1-to-1 ratio of water and sugar, whatever your sugar preferences. We usually do brown sugar because that's sort of like the traditional boba thing. Happens every time. Yes, it's so true. Okay, I'm gonna put this down. And I'm going to take this concoction and put it in the fridge. So here's a bit of advice. If you put something hot in the fridge, like I just did, put a trivet underneath it. I have cork trivets. Just to make sure that you don't put it onto a cold surface, because that can make glass shatter, and that can also mess with whatever you put on top of it. So basically, if you put it directly on like a glass shelf in a fridge, you run the risk of that glass shelf shattering, and you run the risk of the hot container shattering. So I like to put a little trivet in before I do that. especially if it's very hot. If it's just warm, it's fine. But if it's hot, like what I was just doing, um, I like to just play it safe. I'm gonna put this here. Watch this for me, chat. So I'm just gonna be roasting carrots because we have 5 billion carrots. It feels like. So you can tell that my carrots are a little on the older side. Oh, hello there, Lord M. Yes, that's actually boba. That one right there. Yes, that's boba. Um, little stylized to look like layers of colors. You can do that, but not usually. So you can tell that these are a little on the older side because they have little sprouts coming out of them. That's totally safe. That's totally safe. So what's happening when what does happen when you start having little roots coming out of your carrots is it's going to taste a little less sweet because it's using that sugar that it has built up to to create roots. It means more fiber. It would if I weren't going to shave it off. Cuz I peel my stuff. But yeah, so it's using up the sugars in order to grow that. It doesn't have photosynthesis to do so because it doesn't have any leaves. So it's just using its stored energy, which is sugar. So they'll taste a little less sweet if it's starting to sprout like that, but that's totally fine. It's safe. And with what I'm going to do with this, roasting them, they're going to taste like, to me it's almost like candy how sweet they get. You do 400 degrees for 45 minutes, and that's roasting temperatures. Um you coat it in olive oil and various spices, at least salt and sugar, but you can also do rosemary, thyme, sage. You could do pretty much any dried spice and have fun with it. You could do curry powder. You can do cumin if you love cumin. I love cumin. Um, but my partner doesn't love cumin as much as I do. Thus, I shall not do that. I think I'm going to do a Bulgarian spice blend. I went to Bulgaria a couple years ago when I was in my master's program to provide um, health assistance essentially. Um, I'm not really open about what my master's was in, but essentially we provided support to people who have disabilities there.
And then we also had like vacation out there. It was very nice. It was after I finished all of the didactic um portion of my degree, which is essentially the classes. I finished all of my academic classes, and we I still had to like take a test and stuff like that in order to obtain my degree and more hands-on stuff. But so while I was there, we had a lot of food in Bulgaria, and one of the things that was on every single restaurant table was this Bulgarian spice blend. And it's basically they use it instead of sugar because it has a lot of sugar in the spice blend, but it also has various seasonings. And we loved it. It was delicious. So I think I will do pepper and that Bulgarian spice blend on these to see how it is. Every new piece of Ruby lore makes Ruby even cooler. I appreciate that. You're absolutely delightful. Yeah, I particularly worked with a young man who had cerebral palsy. And to unfortunately because there's various levels of care in various countries, and there's um there's things that can be prevented if you have adequate access to healthcare and things like that. Of course, this person would have always had cerebral palsy. It's a thing that you're born with. Um, but the sometimes when people stay in certain positions for a long period of time, like if they stay in this position for a long time and they don't ever extend their wrist or any other joint, they'll get something called, I forget what's called. Oh my gosh, I'm such a failure. Um Essentially they won't be able to extend it anymore. It because the way our joints work is we have this these pouches with lubricant in them. And whenever we move our joints, it squeezes out some of that lubrication in order to keep our joints working effectively. If you do not extend or flex in a certain way, then it ossifies because it's not being used. And ossifies mean it turns to bone. And once that happens, gosh, it starts with a C. I just wish I remembered what this term was. Like any other day, I'd remember it. But anyway, it you get stuck in that place of flexion. And so this was true for this individual, how it was stuck in like this in this kind of angle, with fingers closed. We were able to extend the fingers a bit, but I think the wrist we couldn't really do much. Um and like the ankles were at really significant angles that like shifted towards the side. You wouldn't think it's possible. It's basically like at a right angle. There's a lot of crazy stuff that can happen when you don't have access to like therapy. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, no, it's okay. Let me see. What is the problem? Because my camera is not the problem. Okay. There we go. Ah, okay. Woo. Excellent. But yeah, so it's really wild and crazy how there's a lot of preventable things out there that if you don't have access to the appropriate medical teams, that you just it doesn't get prevented. We were able to help this person improve their ergonomics for eating, so that was nice. I think that's all of them. Okay. Why is it so angry? Why is it so angry? Angry thing. Okay, I'm actually going to close this for about a moment to give it a chance to cool down. And the cam link is the one that's being a jerk. So I'm going to let that cool down as well. Maybe that's a factor. And I'm just going to throw these away and then I'll fiddle with the camera. I need to look this term up. You meant the food. Yeah. No. Oh, no. Not the food. The cam link. Yeah, the Elgato cam link. Because it's being a little angry right now. Let's see. And it seems like it might have just been the connection. But it might not have been. Let's see. I need to look up what this is. Let's see. It's also a thing with burns. With burns, you're at risk of developing this as well. Because what happens when someone gets burnt is if they get burnt along a joint, they don't want to stretch out that skin where the burn is because it's extremely painful. So this will happen there as well sometimes if they don't have like splints and stuff to prevent it. Reschedule boba and found research boba and found tapioca pearls interesting but unsure what they are. Yeah, it's like a chewy ball. It's a chewy ball that is the main thing is adding texture. And then you when you cook them, you can also add a brown sugar syrup on the outside to make them tasty. Let's see. Burn contracture. That's it. A contracture. It's That's the term. A contracture. Let me look up. The contracture, a permanent tightening of the muscles, tendons, skin, and nearby tissue that causes the joints to shorten and become very stiff. And if it's for a long enough period, it can become permanent because the it ossifies. The joint ossifies. That's it. Contracture. Let's see. Yeah, they're very neutral tasting. The brown sugar syrup you cook them in is absorbed. Yes. Chewy ball. Like it's more like a I don't want to say a gummy, but it's closer to a gummy. It's not quite a gummy though. It's more chewy than bread and more chewy than chocolate, but not quite as chewy as a gummy, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna see if this will work again. Very close to a gummy, just a bit softer. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna chop these. There's a few ways to chop veggies. Or I'm just gonna eat this. It's a very sad looking piece, but I'm gonna eat it. Ow. Yeah, you can bite through them, exactly. So in Japan, they'll rotate it like this. I think that's a little too big. Not that I'm making a specifically Japanese style roasted vegetable. You can do that. There's miso. There's a miso sauce you can make for roasted vegetables, and what you do with that is you make your roasted vegetables. You still add your sugar and no, sorry, not sugar. You add your salt and pepper, and then halfway through the roasting, so like 20 minutes in or 25 minutes in, you can put a whatever miso dressing mix you make, and you toss the vegetables in that, and then you do the rest of the time, and then you'll have like a miso coated veggies that are roasted. I haven't tried that yet, but it sounds delicious, and I think you do it part of the way through because the miso paste would burn. And you also want the miso, it's a miso paste, it's ginger. I don't have any ginger right now. So that's why I'm not doing it today. And I didn't do it yesterday. Also, Ruby, what are you going to have with the veggies? So actually, this is just kind of meal prep because we still have curry from the weekend. So I don't think we're actually going to eat any of this today. But I do encourage people, so roasting vegetables, fantastic way to make delicious veggies for any dinner. You can make a bunch of them at a time. If you put them in the fridge, all you have to do is either bake it. Well, I recommend baking it. It's hard to not be able to eat carrot because of orthodontics. Oh, they're really soft the way that it gets cooked. They become pretty soft this way. And my guess is because you can't bite through it, like bite through a hard carrot. Yeah, they become nice and soft and really sweet. They become so sweet when you roast them. I was like, last night we ate roasted veggies with bacon and eggs. Because we didn't have very much here at home. Like, we didn't feel like eating our curry again. So we just did that. And while I was waiting for the eggs and bacon to be made, I couldn't stop eating the roasted vegetables, because especially the carrots tasted so sweet and delicious. You prefer to make salad with veggies? Yeah, it's easy to make salad. It's certainly easy to make salad. And I do like fresh vegetables as well. Sometimes if you want like warm vegetables though, roasting is like a really easy way to have warm veggies. And actually, so interesting stuff. It's fantastic to have fresh vegetables, but it's also good to have cooked vegetables because we can't process all of the vegetables when they're raw. Even when they're cooked, some of it just passes through us. But we're able to get more of the nutrients when we cook things. That's one of the reasons why when humanity was able to start using fire, brain development actually got like crazy good. Essentially, like our brains started to get enough nutrients that it really like jump started us to being able to have like more it helped with our intelligence essentially because we were able to gain more nutrients from our food. It sounds like a quack thing, but I promise it's an actual thing. With the discovery of fire, or the discovery of how to make fire, humanity started to really rapidly get brain development. Cooked vegetables have bad taste. Well, how do you cook your vegetables? Because there's a lot of different ways to cook vegetables. I don't really like steaming vegetables in general. I love the flavor of roasted vegetables though. Which I know cooked vegetables not for everyone. And it's not me trying to convince you to have um roasted vegetables. It's just fun topics that I think are interesting. And letting so a lot of my friends have the misconception that it's just always better to have raw vegetables because when you cook vegetables, it does degrade some of the vitamins and whatnot in it. However, there's something called bioavailability in food. And basically, there's a difference between what our bodies are able to digest and make use of and what exists inside the plant. So essentially, some of my friends, they preferred cooking their vegetables, but they were not because they thought it was healthier for them to just eat them raw. And I was able to chat with them about bioavailability and how even though cooking vegetables technically breaks down some stuff, more our bodies are able to process more of it, and therefore we actually end up getting more nutrients out of like cooked veggies. But raw veggies are still extremely healthy. I always try to have baby carrots on hand for easy snacking because it's better than the alternative of like chips and stuff. Oh, they're watery. Yeah, I bake them. I bake them essentially. It's like baking at a very high temperature. So I put them in an oven at a high temperature, 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And then I let them cook and that's roasting. To Ruby, it's like raw meat versus cooked meat. Cooked meat makes things easier to digest. Yes. Become very soft. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to cook vegetables. Yeah, I don't really like boiling vegetables. And especially because then you can't really season them all that well. Lord Am, it's not entirely true. There are some things that, like, vegetables are very hard to digest. And there are some nutrients that we can't access unless we cook it. But it's still extremely healthy to eat them raw. But there are some things in vegetables that we were better able to digest if they're cooked, and therefore we get more nutrients in that way. There's different kinds of nutrients you get out of vegetables depending on if it's cooked or not, as far as I understand. It's true that they have more nutrients when they're raw, but we can't digest them, if that makes sense, because it's too harsh on our bodies. Since we're omnivores, we eat both plant matter and meat. Um we aren't as specialized as an herbivore or something that just eats plants in order to digest everything in a plant. Like cows have multiple stomachs to be able to get all the nutrients that they can out of grass. And they're only able to do that because they have multiple stomachs to digest it. But still, very healthy. Either which way. A vegetable is healthy if you cook it, if you have it raw, if you have it blended into a smoothie, if you juice it. Now, juicing vegetables is interesting. When you juice fruits and vegetables, you're not getting as much fiber, but you are getting the vitamins. You're still getting the vitamins from it. There's a lot of water soluble vitamins inside vegetables. So some people who just want to quickly get their vitamins from their vegetables and not deal with eating as many vegetables, some people will juice them because or maybe they don't have a good appetite. Maybe it's someone who's older and they have a hard time eating as it is. So they try to juice the vegetables so that way they can get more of the nutrients that are water soluble. And then they just have a concentrated drink that has their vitamins in it. And then the rest of their meals, they're eating things that help keep their weight up because they if they get full on vegetables and stuff, then they're not eating other like high calorie items that help keep them at a healthy enough weight, because sometimes when you're older it's harder to keep weight on at a very old age. Carrots, yes, nowhere, carrots. Good to see you. But yeah, there's a lot there. Nutrition is way more complicated than people think. Um when people try to create fads of this is always better than this and like all that sort of stuff is generally not true. Generally there are exceptions to everything depending on a person's dietary needs. It's so good to see you, Nowhere. How you doing? I'm I'm talking about how there are many ways to eat vegetables, and depending on a person's goals, there are many valid ways to have vegetables. There's a lot of complicated concepts with food science and dietary science. That's why we have so much changing information with dietary stuff, because we're always learning new things about the body and how the body absorbs nutrients. There's a lot of things to consider when it comes to nutrition. We have to look at what is actually inside the food we eat, its nutrition. But then we have to look at, are we able to process that nutrition, the vitamins, minerals, all sorts of stuff, the fibers. Um because it's only nutritional in that way if we're able to uptake it. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well, Nowhere. We're just about finished up chopping these vegetables. I was going to put some potatoes in this, but I think I want to save those potatoes to make mashed potatoes on Wednesday. So usually when I roast vegetables, I will have a plethora of things. I will like have quartered onions. I'll have, what's it called? Potatoes. Uh a lot of root vegetables are fantastic for roasting because they're able to withstand that cooking. But forcing you to memorize such things for the exam is very difficult and boring. Oh, I just know these things because I enjoy learning. And also I have a vested interest in basically it's the sort of thing that lets me know a bit more of what making informed decisions. I just like that sort of stuff. I want more daikon radish maybe this week, but daikon radish is awesome. I also like roasting parsnips. Oh, that was weird. I like roasting parsnips as well. Okay, I'm gonna. Is this still toasty? No. Okay, cool. I will ooch these up here, and I will get my one of my pans ready to mix all this stuff up. Okay, so I have here a half sheet pan. That's like a standard household pan size. And I have parchment paper. This is a great way to keep your vegetables, what's it called? Crispier. And what I also have to do now, a great way, if you really want your vegetables to roast in a way that makes them a little crispy on the outside, is you blot them dry as you are transferring them onto your baking sheet. So I like to, gotta go? Too late? Okay, thank you so much, Lord Am. I hope you have a fantastic time with whatever you're about to do, and that your day and or night goes smoothly. Actually, I can just put them all in the center. Take care, Lord Am. Bye-bye. So yeah, I'm just making them a little drier. A lot of times they end up kind of, the edges sort of steam instead of roasting because they're wet. So being able to blot them dry just makes it work out a little bit better. A lot of recipes, skip this step because they don't think people will, well, I think that they don't think that people will have the patience to do it. I don't know. Sometimes people do, sometimes people don't. Maybe add it as an optional step. I just like letting people know that it is an option. They're like so significantly drier when I do this. They don't have to be perfectly dry. You just want to reduce how much moisture there is on them. I'm going to, why are you drying the carrots? So if your goal with roasting vegetables is to have them a little crunchy on the outside, it's better to blot them dry. So you could do this with any of your root vegetables. Just blot them dry. Yeah, it helps with the crisping because the moisture on the outside will make them steam a little bit. They're going to steam on the inside, of course. They don't have to be perfectly dry, but it helps to it helps them to be a little bit crispier if they're drier. We just don't want them like dripping juices and stuff. Also, a lot of people actually don't use enough oil when they roast things. So there's an interesting conversation people have about, is it safe to roast with extra virgin olive oil? I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, so take this with a grain of salt. Based on my research and Corvid Council's research, it is safe to roast with extra virgin olive oil. The reason why people used to think it might not be safe is because there's a smoking point, and it has a low smoking point, meaning that it's smoking generally, like it kind of implies almost like a burning point. So it has a low smoking point, meaning that it, compared to other oils, it smokes at a lower temperature essentially. However, upon further analysis, research seems to indicate that its smoking point is not carcinogenic. Meaning that, so the big concern is it going to cause cancer? because that's the whole thing with like burning things and smoking points. Um, it doesn't seem to. It seems to be a fairly safe, a pretty safe oil to use still. So if you like the flavor of olive oil, you can still use extra virgin olive oil for roasting things, according to that research. But if you're concerned about it, um, olive oil that's not extra virgin olive oil is just olive oil. That one has a higher smoking point. It's harder to find, at least in the United States, but I hear it's doable. But where I live, it's just so much easier to find extra virgin olive oil. There we are. They're less shiny now. They're a little bit more they're a little bit drier. Okay, I'm going to grab my spicings. Where the heck? There it is. Woohoo! Wasn't present. Which oil do you use? Oh, I use extra virgin olive oil, which I was briefly describing not briefly. It was a long explanation, but essentially based on some research I've done, there was question about whether or not it's safe because it like smokes at a low temperature, but a lot of research shows that that smoke is potentially not carcinogenic. So it's I personally use the extra virgin olive oil. Mitch wasn't paying attention. No, you're all good. It's all good. Um, but yeah, so that's what I use. If you can find just olive oil that's not extra virgin olive oil, um, that one has a higher smoking point, so it doesn't start smoking until a higher temperature. Yep, words are hard. So I'm doing some black pepper. I think I'm gonna have to use 2 baking sheets. I could try to eke it out, but the best case is you try to have the vegetables not touch each other. That's like for sorry, I keep not grabbing it because it's an odd angle. But for best results, you would want to have the veggies not touch each other on the pan because that'll help them not steam, they'll just roast. I'm not using a recipe. I just know in general when you roast root vegetables 400 degrees for 45 minutes. And if you want to roast onions and stuff that are not quite as hardy, you add them in halfway through. Okay, so I think that's a good amount of pepper. I tend to over pepper things, according to my partner. Now, here's my Bulgarian spice blend that I got in Bulgaria. It's unfortunately it's in Bulgarian. So I have no clue what's inside of it. But they have this they have this thing that they do where they make like a fun little pattern on the back of it showing off like various layers of seasonings. It's really cute. I'm just gonna do that. Normally, if you want to use salt, for roasting things, I would say kosher salt, which has like the larger granules of salt. But this already has plenty of salt in it. Pretty. Yeah, I agree. I think it looks nice. I'm gonna do a little bit more. And I'm trying to decide. I'm gonna taste a little bit of this to remind myself what it tastes like. That's gonna be like so much. Extremely salty. Um, but it has other things. I don't think there's cumin in here, but I think there's curry powder. It's so interesting because I just don't know what's inside of it. I don't know what's inside of it, but I love it. I'm pretty sure there's curry powder though, which curry powder isn't. It's like a blend of things that goes into a curry powder. I can't remember all of the spices that go into a curry powder off the top of my head, but different cultures put different things into curry powders. Let's see. And now oil. Where's my oil? Oh, oil's over here on the table. I grabbed it earlier. I have this is my favorite. It's a Trader Joe's olive oil, although I haven't seen it lately in my local Trader Joe's. Sometimes it comes and goes. Maybe it's gone forever this time. Who knows? Um but I say do a little bit of research online when picking an olive oil because they're not all equally tasty. And you want like a actually a pretty decent amount. We'll see if that's enough. Actually, I'll leave this lid off. And I'm just gonna use my hands. My hands are clean. I just want everything to get coated in oil, everything to get coated in the spices. Gosh, that smells delicious. It's the olive oil mixed with the spices. That's what's like smelling so tasty. I love dipping fresh bread into olive oil. Some people like to do olive oil with a balsamic vinaigrette for their breads. I like that as well, but I honestly could just do olive oil when it's like a really tasty one. Actually, I think one pan might be it's cutting it close, but I think it might be okay. So I really don't want to deal with a second pan if I don't have to. Ideally, none of them would touch. We're going to have some touching here. They're not leaving as some folks when I was religious would say, leave space for the Holy Spirit. Touching. Yeah, that's right, Tar. Tar, do you ever roast veggies? It's actually like oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite things. And I go through phases where I don't do it for a long time, but then I go, "Oh, you know what sounds good? Some roasted vegetables." And then I go, "Why did I ever stop roasting vegetables? It's like the best delicious thing in the universe." Like I could just eat bowl of roasted vegetables and go, that was good. That was a meal. It's not though. You should have protein and stuff. Well, I don't know. In the United States, we typically have the average uh person in the United States will eat enough protein for like someone who works out. So when people say that in the United States, oh, I had protein shakes and stuff before coming here, I'm like, you probably actually already have enough protein in your diet for working out. So for it, just as a suggestion, if you're an individual who works out and actively has extra protein because of that, you should actually take a look at how much protein you're eating and determine if you actually want to do a protein shake. Yuki. Hello, B. It's good to see you. We're roasting some veggies. These are just carrots. Um, we chop them up in more of like Asian style where you rotate them as you're cutting them. Um, and we used pepper, Bulgarian spice blend that I picked up when I was in Bulgaria. Um, and which is like a very salty spice blend that tastes like it has like curry powder and whatnot in it. I love that stuff. And then we also used olive oil. I'm about to throw this into I should preheat. All right, preheating is occurring. Yeah, veggies. I love roasted veggies. Any root vegetables, you want to go 400 degrees for 45 minutes. If you have stuff like onions and garlic to add to it, leave enough space for them and add them in um, at the like halfway mark. So either like with 20 or 25 minutes left on the clock. And then you're good. You can roast any like you can roast squash. I don't know I don't know if squash is more similar to the root vegetables. I would assume so. I would put them in at the same time as the root vegetables and see how they do. Or do your research because that's also an option. And then once we in terms of cooking times, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking squash is probably more along the lines of like start it at the very beginning. I'm pretty sure, but I could be wrong. I know some people roast zucchini. I think I've even done it before. I can't remember if put it in at the very beginning or if I waited until halfway. I'll have to look into that. But yeah, I'm not cooking for dinner specifically today. We still have some curry from the weekend, but I wanted to meal prep some stuff. Um, I just love, oh, and we have so many carrots right now that I wanted to get rid of some of them, process them. Um, and I started making coffee jellies earlier. We'll see if they're ready by the end of stream to be looked at and cut up. I'm not so sure. And I'm just doing my general blabbing on about weird nutritional stuff that I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian. I forget I think a dietitian is actually the one that requires a proper degree, but don't quote me on that. One of them is real and one of them is like just someone that is self-declared. So do your research if you're trying to speak with someone about your diet. Let's see. Um I don't know what else I was talking about. That's how present I am, I suppose. Oh, the cats are no longer on the cat tree. I wonder where they are. Hello. I love everyone's various ways of saying hello to each other. There's hoi, hello, hello, uh, all kinds of fun. Hi hi. Love it. He's fun. Um, I'm going to make sure I have the supplies I need to make the brown sugar syrup. Mlem. It's a new greeting form. Mlem. Oh, Bezos, thank you so much because I can't see what's going on because I'm on my laptop. And my laptop doesn't have the most up-to-date OBS setup for myself. So I don't see the ads when they're coming. Hmm. My music also got borked. I can't get my music working, so I'm going to have to troubleshoot that another time. How rude of it. Let's see. It's almost ready for me to put in the veggies. And then we'll transition to making some syrup for the coffee jellies while we're waiting for that to cook for 45 minutes. I wonder if I can make something else in addition to all this because um I don't have I don't have more things planned to make. I kind of just did the oh, that's the little bleep to put it in. I shall do that. I'm gonna close this to give everything a little restings. So right now, I'll admit, in the perfect world, I would halfway through roasting the vegetables, I would rotate everything, like mix them around again, so that way they're facing different directions than they were before. So that way all sides get like toasty and cooked and well, all sides are going to get cooked, but I'm going to do it the semi-lazy way, which is I'm going to just leave them in for the entire time. And one side is going to be less toasted than the rest. But it'll be cooked all the way through. It'll still be delicious. I'm going to take this cutting board and put it in the kitchen. I have my trivet out here, just ready. I'm going to mute myself for a moment. I'm going to get that pot again so we can make that syrup. Let's see. Cam link should be turning back on. Huh. Why is it angry? Where is the feed on here? Camera. Let me see if I can refresh it. That's a thing. I can't refresh it. That's so weird. Sometimes it just breaks. I don't know why it does this. Okay, but I'm gonna try closing it and opening it again. Yep, Elgato. Elgato's being a butt again. Okay, then will that work? Let's see. No. Alright. Well, I'm just gonna kill this. It is a... Okay, I'm gonna delete it. Die. Now I'm going to add a new camera. Where it be? Camera capture device. Elgato. There we go. Oh.
Okay.
Cool. Yep, he's back. Okay, now I'm going to change the layer that's on. There we go. I'm back. Woo! Thank you, folks. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to put this water. It's 1 cup of water. Wow, such hydration. Oh my goodness, we're going to fix that though. It's not going to hydrate anyone. Because it's going to be full of sugar. It's going to make loud sounds. I'm trying to move it as far away from the buzzing as I can. Oh, double Ruby voice. Oh! How's that? Oh no. Okay, hold on. Okay, that should be fine now. Thank you for that warning. That should be okay now. Okay, we're getting it toasty. This knife is a little precarious. Well, that's okay. We fixed and we don't hear blender. Fantastic. Alright, I'm just pouring some brown sugar into this cup. Because unfortunately, this is the life I have to live. I can't just scoop it. Woe is me. Oh, it do be a slow process. Alright, this is half a cup, but fear not, I will be doing another cup. Another half cup. Woo! Let's go. Do I sound buzzy? Someone was mentioning that earlier. I sound hungry. Hello, McCoy. And hello, Mother Mayo. You may notice that these are not vegetables being roasted. That is because I am waiting for veggies to roast and I'm making a brown sugar syrup for coffee jellies that I made earlier on stream. Oh dear. That's right. This is going to be angry. Because of my steam. I really need to come up with like a fan to blow that direction. So that way the steam doesn't fog up my camera. Hello, Wooby. Oh, that's such a cute little nickname, Wooby. That's my real Uwu Hours name. I'm not really great at uwooing. Perhaps have a camera pointed at an angle instead of straight down. It had. Whenever I do that, it does still fog up. But let's see. I can do that for now. Here we go. it's a little foggy, but it's much better than it was. Oh shoot, it changed modes, didn't it? Well, that's okay. Yeah, it still gets a little foggy, but now I can ooch it a little farther away. Cool. Excellent. But yeah, I'm sitting off to the side very intentionally with my head away from, well, with Eleanor's head away from the. Oh dear, I should turn that down. Yep, I would love to get a fan to blow steam away at some point. Maybe like a desk fan clipped onto this arm that I have. I'm gonna grab my other thing. My gosh, it's so noisy. I was about to say, what do you mean you? Truth. Just occasionally blowing the steam. Wah. So, syrup is really easy. You just want 1-to-1 ratio of water and whatever sugar you want. You can also do fruit if you want to add some flavor. Oh, thank you so much. Hold on. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Fortunately, I can't see the name too well right now. Let's see. Martin Martin Fletcher Martin Fletcher. Oh, I'm so sorry. Is there a name or a pronunciation that you prefer? How you doing today? We are waiting for some vegetables to roast. I am currently making a brown sugar syrup, and earlier I made coffee jellies. Hopefully, it'll solidify in time for at the end of stream for me to cut it up and show it off. Martin Fletcher, OAP, meaning old age. Oh, got it. Very cool. Martin Fletcher. Well, I'm 30, so we're in good company. 30 plus gang unite. You'll get there one day, McCoy. I'm baby. You're like a couple years younger, right? Queso's in the gang. Not far off, yeah. Excellent. In a couple years, you'll be in the gang. It's going all over the place. This is so weird. It feels like it's floating a little bit. It's induction. It's an induction stove top or cooktop, hot top. Yeah, hot top. That's what I'm cooking. What am I cooking? So I was roasting some veggies there in the oven. I'm currently just making a brown sugar syrup to go with our coffee jellies that we made at the very beginning of stream. Hopefully, those coffee jellies will be ready by the time stream ends, so that way I can cut that up and show people what that looks like. Maybe give it a taste and be severely disappointed because I didn't follow my recipe from last time because I couldn't find it. I winged it a little. Trust me, Jacob, you're so sweet and welcoming of folks. Um last last time I cooked, I can't remember what I did. I think I made I can't remember. Did I make a soup or was it the shredded chicken? I feel like that was so long ago, but I've been missing a lot of Munchy Mondays because of the cats and because I had some medical stuff pop up. What have you been up to, McCoy? I didn't wake up today until 1 p.m. and I don't know why. So I have like neurological issues and sometimes my medicines um make me do unpredictable sleep stuff. I looked at everything. I took the right medicines at the right times. Um, maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because I had a change in routine. I stayed up pretty late last night, but I went to sleep at 1 a.m. I don't normally sleep 12 hours unless I'm taking my medicine incorrectly. But I don't think I'm taking any of my medicine incorrectly right now. I see no evidence of it. Lurk for food. Eat your food. Tell queso hi for me. I let's see. This really should be going for 10 minutes, but I didn't look at how long I was doing this, so I'm gonna just like feel it out. We'll see. He says hi, Ruby. Hope you're doing well. Oh, so sweet. Wow. It's my friendos. Okay. It is noisy. This oven. Or the not oven, sorry. Hot top. But I love it. I love it because I'm able to cook while seated now. Because with my disability, I get fatigued very quickly, my neurological condition. So this has been really nice. I was able to cook. I cooked on my own. I didn't stream it, but I cooked something the other day, and it went really well. I think I made a soup. Egg drop soup. I'm pretty sure it was egg drop soup. I love egg drop soup. Egg drop soup is a really nice one if you don't want to plan too much. Um the other than like spices, the main ingredients you have like a chicken stock. So we have better than bouillon, which is a paste for making chicken stock. It's like a jar of think of bouillon cubes which are like the little cubes that you put into water to make stock. But it's really tasty. So we have the low sodium version of that, which is the right amount of sodium. And then you can have a little bit of shredded chicken if you have that on hand. I had it on hand because I meal prepped shredded chicken before. I'm gonna go into muted alert to watch some tutorial videos for work. Excellent. Take care. Thank you so much for hanging out. And I hope that goes smoothly and you learn what you gotta learn. And I hope it's not too boring. I'm going to shut this off because this is reduced a good amount. I'm going to continue stirring a little bit. Let's see. So for egg drop soup, you do the chicken stock. You're able to have whatever spices. So usually that's like ginger and things like that. You and white pepper is good to have. Um and then you can have like a can of corn and some frozen peas. So that's something I love about that recipe. And if you have some shredded chicken, you could throw it in, but you don't have to. I just love that you're able to have like frozen items and like a can of like some of your ingredients. So that way you don't have to have a bunch of fresh ingredients ready for it. And then of course you have your eggs that you stir in. I should do egg drop soup. I like doing recipes that are pretty easy on stream sometimes because then you I don't know. I feel like if you do accessible recipes online, then people who are looking for easy things to cook are able to get some inspiration because who realistically has time to make really fancy food every day or every couple days? Like there we have to conserve our energy. Um I'll sometimes make I'm planning on making bread one day. I want to make bread on stream one day. We have we have a KitchenAid that I'm able to make some good breads with. Maybe I should try my hand at making a sourdough starter, but I think what I'll do instead is I'll probably just buy a sourdough starter. They're not that expensive, and it's a lot easier to start off with someone else's starter. And then as you feed it, it will like have your local yeasts and stuff over time because it doesn't really keep its original flavor because it gets fed by your local environment. So it's always going to change. It's going to change. Um it's really interesting how sourdough works. I feel like that would be a fun stream is to talk about that. Actually, I want to use this little guy now that it's cool enough to do so. You get all the corners, make sure everything is dissolved. And then I will throw this into a mug, I guess, and put it in the fridge to cool it off. The smell makes me want to have boba. My only regret is I did not make more of this because I love this stuff. I feel like I should have made 2 cups. But no, that's not realistic. It's not realistic. So I'm just trying to make sure that it stays all dissolved and stuff. I'm gonna let it cool for a bit until I pour it because I really don't want to deal with burns and stuff. That's subpar. I had to learn about how to provide care to people with burns through my master's program, and it's rough. It's rough. Try not to get burns. It's a really miserable process to recover from. I have a story. I I nearly became like a big burn survivor, I'm sure. Um so we try to not say burn victims anymore. We try to say burn survivors. Um just because it has a better connotation. We don't want to further victimize people. We want to empower people. So instead of saying victim, you say survivor. That has like just a generally much more positive connotation. So just for that information. Um I in undergrad I had food. Excellent. Excellent. I was just about to talk about how I nearly became a burn survivor. But luckily by much luck I did not I did not get burnt in this situation. Um so here's the thing. When you encounter an emergency situation, sometimes you are caught so unawares that you don't think straight. I want to throw that out there first. Um, you encounter an emergency situation and sometimes you forget logic. So when people say, "Oh, that was dumb to do in that situation," they might actually know what you're supposed to do, but it goes out the window because you're panicked. So I was cooking I was trying to fry stuff. I was silly. I had already fried stuff before. I used like canola oil or something like that. I ran out of canola oil, so I used olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. That's you don't want to fry, you don't want to shallow fry things in olive oil, especially extra virgin olive oil, because it has a low burning point, so it will light on fire at the temperatures that you want to fry things. So here I was waiting for it to get to a temperature. Yes, I was waiting for it to get to a temperature that I could throw stuff in to fry stuff. And it lit into a huge flame. Like, not huge, not huge. But my pan was on fire. Like the contents of it all the everywhere that there was oil on the pan, it was on fire. What you're supposed to do is shut off the flame, like shut off the power to the burner and cover it. I did not do that. I picked it up and took it to the sink. You do not put water on oil fires. Do not do this. I did this. I even knew not to do this, but I was panicked. So I ran water on it, and I kid you not, from my perspective, the fire went to the ceiling. Like, it probably didn't actually go that high, but that's what I saw. And next thing I knew, I was on the ground, sitting in like with my hands around my knees, and the pan was in the middle of the kitchen. Not tipped over, not anything. It was just sitting on the floor and there was no fire. I was so panicked in that moment that I forgot that I turned around and put it down. I was fortunate enough to not have any burns. But many people who are burnt with severe burns in their face, their neck, their chest, their arms, that's how a lot of people get burnt. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And oftentimes they need like surgeries. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all good. No, it's all good. Luckily, I learned my lesson. Um, but I like to tell people this story, like my friends and whatnot, so that way people remember when they're cooking to, even if things are going okay, just remember that things can happen. Just remember that things can happen, and to have a plan. To have a plan, because if you have a proper plan instead of knowing don't do this, like sometimes it's just nicer to actually tell yourself, hey, if something goes wrong, there's lids in this drawer, or there's lids in this cupboard. Like just something like that. But yeah, so so that was actually very tough for me to learn about in my master's program, because I, for a span of time, I was afraid of cooking. I was afraid to cook because of that experience. Luckily, I'm doing a lot better now. I had some coworkers whose apartment building burned down because another tenant was deep frying something and then went and fell asleep on the couch. Oh my gosh. You should also get a fire extinguisher and learn how to use it. Yes. And also keep in mind, fire extinguishers go bad. They don't stay good for very long. I think they last a couple years. I could be mistaken, but you should look at the expiration date on your fire extinguisher. But yeah, that's insane. Glad you're comfortable enough to cook again. Yeah, yeah. It's good. It's good. My partner helped me work through it. We already knew each other when it happened, but I was alone when it happened. We were already dating. Yeah. So this was probably about 10 years ago. I was either 20 or 21, I think. Okay. Yep, you can get fire extinguishers recertified. That's correct. So you should look at having a fire extinguisher, knowing how to use it, and be sure to maybe write on your phone a reminder. Like, you can set a calendar date to give you a warning, like a month before it expires, and tell yourself, um get the extinguisher recertified. So that way you give yourself time to actually do the thing, and you remember to do that. But yeah, a lot of people, when they buy a fire extinguisher, they don't realize that you have to upkeep it. It could just flat out not work at all. It's not like other things that if it expires, it'll still do stuff. Um, it could just not work at all, and then you just have you had a possible solution, and then it's not working. We like to talk about safety and like bodily safety and food safety around here. Let's see. So I'm gonna hold on. Are you actually cool? Yeah, wow. Gets cool so fast. Okay. We will try to not pour ineffectively. Excellent. Beautiful. I'm just gonna wait here for a little bit while it like drips the last. Oh, here. Okay. Hmm. Ineffective pouring is what they call me in high school. That's hilarious. Hello, Electrode. How you doing? Hydrate. Hi, I'm Electrode. Well, thanks. Oh, wonderful. Why does everyone do the hydrate? Gotta moisten the bones, as he says. Hmm. Okay, so there's that. I'm gonna close this for a moment just so I give that a rest. It do just smell like a boba drink. It's fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna saran wrap this and put it into the fridge so it can cool. Okay. So the what's it called? The vegetables have about 7 minutes left. I'm gonna ooch stuff around. I'm gonna mute myself before I ooch. So I know that this looks a little bit messy, but that's how things go when it cook. Let's see. Okay, I'm catching up with chat because y'all are hilarious. Electrode always tells me to hydrate the moment I say hi. It's revenge. Excellent. Electrode only knows 2 words: hydrate and ooh woo. Instead of saran wrap, try ceramic wrap for increased defense. It's fair. It's fair. Maybe the cats will try to steal the sugary goodness. Ooh woo isn't even a word. Elgato is back. Okay. I'm gonna bring out the, what's it called? The jelly to see if it's jellified. Okay, so the bottom still feels a tiny bit warm. Okay, it has some liquid, but it's separated. That's interesting. I'm going to leave it in for a little bit longer. It did pee. You right. And I'm going to put this trivet over here. Where's the other trivet? Oh, trivet. Oh, there you are. They're being used as a trivet. Well, that's a little bit of a messy splooch. Let it be known, you are able to microwave sponges to make them not so stinky. Just there's some rules with this. So it will kill bacteria. That's great. We want that. You need to have no soap inside of it. So rinse out all the soap, squeeze it out, and then you want it to be saturated with water. And then I think we generally do 3 minutes on high in the microwave. And then just open the microwave door and let it be because it's going to be hot. The way you said that, what? Okay. Did it sound like I was like pleased? Because that's not what I meant to sound like. I think it sometimes has that liquid. It's normal. Yeah, it could be normal. It could be normal. But the bottom was a little bit warm still, so I put it back in the fridge just to make sure it's all happy. Also, I don't have work tomorrow, but I should probs go to eat now. Have good. Oh, thank you so much for hanging out. It's always wonderful to hang out with you, Electrode. We're gonna shout you out as soon as I scroll down. Also, kitty status. You want to know kitty status? I see you on VTube Studio. You will be told to hydrate. Some of these boys need like parental controls on their VTS status. Huh? It did pee. Oh, okay, got it. Now, if you run fast enough, don't worry. I know how to spell your name. Okay, hold on. Oh my gosh, stop. Okay, there. Electrode 13_5. Delightful artist who does variety games. And last was seen playing Super Animal Royale, which is gosh, that was fun to watch y'all play. I only wish that I had more consistent energy to be able to make sure that I join folks, because that would be great. But oh my gosh. The energy is angry. Such angry. I saw Hyperlight Show booted up last night too. Yes, B was in game. I actually booted it up too in order to check out the cosmetics. Okay, that is the timer. I need to grab the Veggies. It did the thing where it fogged up my glasses, just like Augustine Hayes talked about, where you open up the dishwasher too early and it fogs up the glasses. Yeah. Here we are. It could be a little bit more roasted. It could. But do I feel like it? Not really. I would genuinely would prefer a flashbang over my glasses fogging up, yeah. So for anyone who did not, even worse when you're in a warm environment, step outside into cold and bad foggy glasses. Yeah, I'm so lucky that I live in Southern California where it don't get that cold outside usually. I say usually. It has happened to me if I am exercising in vaguely warm vaguely cool temperatures where people sweat sometimes. And I'm doing my speed flight, my flying exercises, of course. And my glasses start fogging up. Yeah, the freezing outside. Oh, and you go inside and it's warm. Yeah, there's that direction. There's that direction. Yes. But it does work that way if you're exercising outside in the cold. Because I have had that happen. Especially coming back inside, though. You're right. It's worst when you come back inside. So I am desperate to try this, but it's still toasty. It's so toasty. But I really want to just eat it because, like, oh my gosh, roasted carrots are the best. Like I said before, normally I roast multiple kinds of vegetables at once, but we have so many carrots that I wanted to get rid of some of them. Or when you're watching a really cute VTuber friend stream and your glasses fog up, they're so precious. Stop it. You're so sweet. Ah. No, you. That's Corvid Council. Hello, Corvid Council. How are you? You're good? Folks, say hello to Corvid Council. We just finished roasting some carrots. And I'm just okay, Oatmeal says hi Corvid. B says hi Corvid, and McCoy says hello, and then has the Corvid borb. Like the council has spoken. Yes. I don't know where the cats are right now. Oh, they're over there. They're checking you out. No, I hear the collar rocking back and forth. Oh, you hear the collar. Um, when I first started, they were hanging out on the cat tree sleeping. I don't know when they left because they both left. Okay, I think this piece. I will try this piece. It's cooling off. So you see, it kind of on the back it has a little bit more moisture because that's where it was sitting. Whereas like it roasts a little bit better on the other side. But gosh, it's still really tasty. I'm just going to start eating these now. Really, it's almost like candy for me with carrots that are roasted. They're just so sweet.
Some people even put maple on them.
Oh, some people put maple on it,
They'll glaze the carrots.
but they're already so sweet. You want to try it? It's with the Bulgarian spice blend.
But yeah, a lot of people will do maple glazed carrots or things like that.
I feel like I could have put more Bulgarian spice blend on it. I put a little too little.
It's a little bit more spice, but a little bit more salt. But it's still very tasty.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Kinko. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I love this. I need to put on toasty hands, anti-toast hands to move this again. But we're gonna get the coffee jellies and cut them up and see how they look. All right. So I might pour off that liquid that's on the top. I kind of want to taste what it is, though. Oh my gosh, is that ad break? How rude of it. I'm going to taste what this is. Want to know. Well, it does have... It has like a coffee color still, so that's good. Yeah, I could leave it in there. There's not that much of it. All right, I'm going to cut these up. There's no rhyme or reason. I just slice into it, and I slice small. I generally recommend going with a wider dish because then the jellies will be smaller, like it'll be thinner. But there's other ways to handle it. And it's okay if they're a little bit long. Not the end of the world. Probably for the best example, I would have oh, that's actually fun. Pop, 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 pop. Hold on. Oh, it's just so dark. It's so dark that it's hard to see what I'm doing. But yeah, so they're kind of tall, but that's all right. Grab this big guy. Yeah, this is what it looks like. It has a pretty, like I can squeeze it. It will like split. Let me taste it. Tastes like coffee. Um Oh, that's what it was missing. I didn't Did it ask for sugar inside of it? Cuz it's not sweet at all. I can't remember. No, I think it's a little sweet. There has to be sugar in that. But the real sweetness comes from the syrup that I'm about to pour in. Syrup's been in the fridge for a little bit. Could be unsweetened if you add it to drinks. Potentially. Potentially. So here, I'm just going to pour that right in. So what's nice about this is I just use these for like drinks. So what Corvid Council and I can do is we can pour these we could like grab a spoon and scoop out some jellies, and then we could also grab some of the syrup to make our drink sweeter. I'm going to grab some of the liquid along with it, the syrup that I just made. Much better. Oh my gosh, that's good. I love it. The liquid was a 1-to-1 ratio of brown sugar and water, and we heated it on the hot top. McCoy. Mixed in with the pee that the stuff made. As McCoy says. But yeah, that's awesome. I'm probably gonna make a black tea later. Usually you use Assam for a typical black, right, Corvid? The closest thing we have to a typical like brown sugar tea would be Assam for the tea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's technically something else.
It's usually Ceylon.
It's usually Ceylon, but we don't have that. It's easier to get Assam. All right, I'm so glad because I wasn't sure that the jelly would be ready by the end, but it looks good. Yeah, we it all solidified. I'm gonna stick it back into the fridge so that way it stays nice and cool. It doesn't get all icky. And whenever we make a drink, we'll just scoop out some of this, and we have some plastic boba straws that are reusable here. I think that's it. I should look at who I can raid into, honestly. I really appreciate you hanging out with me for this. This was fun. This was good fun. Next time I'm actually going to make a proper meal, I think. But we didn't need a full meal today. So I decided to use up some veggies and make some jellies. Let's take a look. Oh, I need to actually go to Twitch because this overlay, this OBS doesn't have all the bells and whistles that my computer has. Ooh, so do y'all feel like watching some art? Or do you feel like, let's see. There's certainly a lot of art right now. I'm just scrolling around to see what else we got. No. Step. Oh, Tar is also doing some software and game development. So that's going to be him working on like a basically like a tower defense type of game. So what would you rather? Would you rather some art or yeah, Tar? Okay, I think we'll raid into Tar, I think. Okay, let me drop his link in the chat just in case people get left behind. He's doing game maker stuff right now. Okay, I'm going to duplicate this tab and then I'm going to get into where I can do the raids. Thank you so much for hanging out, y'all. This has been really fun. Thank you for stream. Have a good day. Thank you, Nowhere. You have a fantastic time zone as well. How about we do the Kiwi? Get rated mod. Sounds like Ginkgo's being a good boy. Oh, Sakura, my bad. Thank you so much for hanging out, B. Okay, I'm going to start the raid. Oh, the girlie's meowing. Okay, there we go. We're locking in. Goodbye, B. Goodbye, McCoy. Goodbye, Nowhere. Goodbye, O'Meal. Goodbye, all my friends. Y'all are absolutely delightful folks. Yeah, you be safe too. Well, heading home. Thank you so much, Mother Mayo. Drive safe. Yes, have good time zone, folks. Bye-bye. Be the best.